Hey guys, what's up? This is Brett. Welcome to this week's episode of Friday on the Turntable. Sometimes I like to just go back to the beginning, and yesterday was one of those days. I was sitting on the couch. I've been having a really stressful time, and I pulled out some U2 singles, mostly spurred because of the recent single that they released called Invisible and the live performance that they did on the debut of Jimmy Fallon on The Tonight Show. And I was really blown away, and whenever I see a moment like that, it just brings this internal excitement. It always just makes me go back to kind of why I fell in love with music in the first place, and the band that I first fell in love with when I was a kid many moons ago, and that band is U2. So what I'm going to do tonight is I'm going to show you five of their early singles, and just briefly talk about them. It's just fun to pull these out, listen to them, and see a band in its infancy and what they were then, and with no idea of where they would be several years after that. So this first one right here was U2's first ever release, and this is U2 3. And this is so exciting to have, because I remember when I was a kid and I would read about this, and it was so hard to get, especially when you're a kid and you have no money, and to hear these versions, Out of Control, Stories for Boys, and Boy Girl. It's an early version of Out of Control that appears on their first album, Boy, and an early version of Stories for Boys, and then a song called Boy Girl, which didn't make it onto their first album. This is an original Irish pressing. It was only pressed in Ireland, and it's so cool to have this. It's so exciting to hear these raw versions of those songs. And yeah, U2 3. It shows all the guys on the back with their name. I always love that about the early U2 albums, is I always say Adam Clayton, bass player, the Edge, guitar player. So that's U2 3. And this is the 7-inch. It did first come out on 12-inch, and then it did come out on 7-inch, and it also came out on cassette. This was their second single, and it was a non-album track, and I love this song so much, and that's 11 O'Clock TikTok. It was a live staple of their set in their early years. Most notably, it was on the Under a Blood Red Sky live album, and on the concert DVD, Live at Red Rocks. And it's backed with the song Touch. And this single is really unique because these songs were never, it was a non-album single, but it's also notable that it was produced by Martin Hannett, who was Joy Division's producer. And what was interesting about this is when the band went to meet Martin Hannett, to get acquainted with him, the day they showed up at the studio happened to be when Joy Division was recording Love Will Tear Us Apart. So this has a special attachment to it all in itself. But 11 O'Clock TikTok, what a wonderful song, and Touch, the B-side, is phenomenal as well. So their debut album came out, 1980, Boy. The second single that was released from that album was the opening track, I Will Follow. And I remember as a kid, that video for I Will Follow on MTV, I remember taping it on my VCR and watching that over and over again. It was a live video, and just the excitement and how young they were. And this is also an Irish on CBS, U2, and it's got the dash between the U and the 2. And this is backed with Boy Girl, a live version at the Marquee in London, I believe. And really exciting song. And yeah, just a cool piece to have in the collection. I Will Follow. Their second album, October, came out in 1981, and the second single from that was the opening track as well, Gloria. This is a UK pressing, and Gloria, great track, kind of fades in, exciting. It has what you can call a bass solo in the middle, where Adam Clayton plays this slapping pop bass solo in the middle part, and it's also featured on the live album where Bono announces Adam Clayton on bass. And then this has a live version of I Will Follow. I think that version is from a show in Boston. Boston was kind of the city that broke U2 in the United States. So, excellent. All right, and the fifth one I'm going to show you guys is another non-album single. And this song was so hard to find when I was a kid. And I remember when MTV played the video, and I was so excited to actually finally get to be able to hear it. And the song is called A Celebration. And this came out in 1982 between October and War. So it was a non-album track. And the B-side is called Trash Trampoline and the Party Girl, which also to reference Under Blood Red Sky, it was truncated to Party Girl. So it was a song that, you know, was written as just a, you know, maybe a throwaway B-side, but it ended up being probably one of their in their early years, one of their most played live songs, especially for a B-side, probably their most played B-side. Love the label on this one. It carries the little sun rays there onto the actual punch-out part there. And A Celebration, there's the video, they're in a prison, I think it's in Ireland, and it's kind of them breaking out. Great track. They haven't really played that song probably in over 30 years. But it's cool to hear it. It's cool to have this, and that B-side, the studio version of Party Girl, is really unique sounding. So, guys, I hope you enjoyed that. I had to do just this little short little tribute to U2 here, and I'm very excited to see what their new album is going to be like. Like I said, that single that they released, Invisible, I was just really blown away by it, and very excited to see what's coming up from them this year with a new album. So, thanks for watching, guys. Talk to you soon.